There's no way to be sure without seeing an authentic likeness of the Tocharians. The guide knows an isolated cave with portraits of the individuals who sponsored the cave building. It's a dangerous climb, more than 100 feet above the valley floor.
Isn't that something? Up the ladders and across that ledge? Do you think it was well worth it? Now you've seen the...
Yeah, I would say so. There's some pretty impressive features in this cave. In this vaulted ceiling above us, we have a lot of Buddhas with kneeling figures beside them, and the kneeling figures look like they're Tocharians. So he's a local person, a Tocharian, but wearing elements of costume.
In a small passage at the back of the cave, Victor hits pay dirt.
We see the red beard and red hair parted in the middle. It's a distinctive style of the Tocharians. He's wearing a coat with wide lapels on both sides and it folded over. It's a shame that these figures have all been defaced by people of other faiths at some time in the past. But it's very easy to see what they looked like, and we can tell who they were.
The Tocharian figures are strikingly similar to the mummies that lived in these parts 1,000 years earlier. Victor's quest has come full circle.
The wide lapel folded back. He's got the red beard, red hair parted in the middle. This donor has blonde hair and a long nose and an Indian caste mark, which we call a tika. Mm-hmm. So he's a local person, a Tocharian, but wearing elements of costume that are Sasanian or Persian influenced and has an Indian caste mark. So we see it's a combination of various traits which the Tocharians have adopted. By about the 10th century, the Tocharians had almost disappeared from the stage of history. We don't find any more documents written Tocharian, and also we don't have any references to them in historical texts after that period. I suspect that what happened to them is that they were primarily absorbed by the Turkic peoples who were moving into this area and replacing them. I believe that the legacy of the earliest inhabitants of the Tarim Basin survive in the current modern populations. We can sometimes see individuals with blonde hair, with light eyes, a very fair skin. And where did they come from? I think these are the vestiges of the ancient peoples. They now believe that they're Uyghurs or Tajiks or some other group, but in my estimation, these are just carrying on the old Tocharian influence.
People long dead and neglected have emerged to reclaim their place in history and radically change our view of a critical time. inhabitants of the Taklamakan Desert, ethnically European people, breached China's fabled isolation 1,000 years earlier than previously thought, laying the foundation for the Great Silk Road. The Mummy people shaped the very future of civilization. The mummies are a unique and irreplaceable treasure. Though we now understand something of their role in history, scientific examination of their bodies will doubtless yield invaluable insights. But inadequate conservation imperils the mummy's condition. No one knows how long before these ancient mortals disintegrate and crumble into dust, anonymous and evanescent as the drifting sands.